3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, low miles, no miles. This is a mini pod. We're sitting here with a 2004 Mystichrome Cobra with only 5,400 miles, and it just so happens my good friend Keith helped create the Mystichrome color. So, Keith, you want to start us all the way back in the 90s?
Sure. So back in the 90s, I used to live in California. I worked for a company that was an optical coatings lab. They did a bunch of crazy stuff. They coated the windows for the space shuttle, all kinds of things. So they got a grant from the government to create a product that would be used for like anti-counterfeiting ink, right? So the company came up with a product called ChromaFlare. It's actually called SpectraFlare, I think, for ink, but for paint, it was called ChromaFlare, and that's actually what you see here. Back in the 90s, there was a lot of misconception about the paint, and there was, the FBI would come out and want to confiscate your material that you didn't use because you could extrapolate the pigment for currency. It was all crap.
It's all hogwash.
They were lies, fake news, man. Back
Fake
in the
news.
90s.
You've heard it here, folks. Fake news. So, what exactly like in the pigment is so special about it?
Well, it's the way it's produced. What you see on the 96 car and on this '04 is manufactured in the U.S. and California, at least at that point. I hear the company made some changes and is doing something different now. But back when these colors were created, they were done in Northern California. And the process of actually making the pigment is very exacting. It's basically what they do is they have a gigantic vacuum chamber with like a plastic roll. That roll goes through this machine and it sprays a product on it at a very specific thickness. The roll goes one way and then it backs up and they coat the other side of it and then it's released in like an acetone bath. I know it's a bunch of science, throwing some science at you today.
Yeah, good
But
scientific.
yeah, it's just a very exacting process. So it wasn't very duplicated and it was very expensive when it was manufactured.
I gotcha. So it's like the thickness of those layers is what makes it that color shifting, and unless you have that kind of technology, you really can't replicate it.
Yeah, there's some products nowadays that look very similar to what the ChromaFlare is. I'm not saying it just because I worked there at that time, but I just feel that this color, the actual ChromaFlare color, it's just a more vibrant, cleaner color. It's really easy to spray. It's very forgiving color.
What's what makes the Mr. more difficult to spray?
Actually, nothing. It's very easy. People have a misconception that it's a multi-layer paint. Like there's like say a black layer and then a blue layer and then a green layer. It's absolutely not the case. It's just a basic base coat, clear coat system like on any car that's produced today. So it's actually very easy to spray. Just it's just very expensive to manufacture.
Yeah. And I mean, compared to like a pearlescent paint, does how you spray it matter as much with that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely. I wouldn't do it if it was my first time painting a car, because you could probably get some pretty poor results. But any good painter, dealership guys or custom paint guys, they can all handle it pretty easily.
Yeah. So, how did you initially get in with Ford to make this color back in the 90s?
Well, when I joined the company in the early to mid '90s, they were just getting ready to launch the '96 color. And I had done a lot of work in Detroit at a design studio developing color for General Motors in particular. I did colors literally for every car that you see on the planet, every one of the manufacturers, all the imported cars plus all the domestic stuff here in the States, obviously. So I was doing a lot of work with GM when the designer from GM jumped ship and went to Ford. I happened to go to California.
Okay.
So we kind of crossed paths, and I ended up out in California. And that's when Alan Egley was the guy's name. He was the color designer for Ford. Great dude. He called me up. He's like, hey, we need an impact color. We need something like the 96 Mystic color. We got to do something real special for this generation Mustang. And that's the color you see. So what I did is I actually developed the color in the laboratory in California and sent all the like the color samples and formulas and stuff like that back to Detroit for Alan to approve and do all the durability testing. So that's pretty much how that all came.
So this final color, how close was this to your favorite out of all the ones that all the different versions?
This is it.
It is?
It's right at the top.
Yeah?
It's cool, man. Look at it. It's
It
like
is.
how you gonna do anything better than that?
It's perfect.
You know, it is. It's a cool color, and it's on the right car too. This one in particular is really nice, man.
Man, all these New Edge Mustangs, they've grown on me so much throughout the years.
Yeah, I mean, Fox bodies will hold that soft place in your heart, you know, but that new edge is pretty cool. I do like it. I like it better than the SN95, the Jelly Bean one. So yeah, definitely a cool car.
Yeah, and it's all mechanical. You know, you can feel every bit of the road. You know,
Right.
there's no electrical systems that are getting in the way. You know, the last kind of true like driving, driver's cars,
Yeah, definitely.
So
This one being a stick and a convertible, cool car for sure.
yeah. So how long did it take to develop all the different colors and all? Like, how long were you sending colors over to his name's Alan?
Alan, yeah. So the process actually takes quite a long time. I developed the color, I believe, in '98. I want to say. That process probably with him and I might have gone over maybe say 6 months developing color, making sure it was exactly what he wanted, and then also like on this car in particular, the leather interior has that same pigment in it as the material that's on the outside. That's where the leather gets its color shift. So it wasn't only working with Ford trying to get a color approved. It has to go through durability testing, and that process literally takes anywhere from 4 to 6 years to get a color. Like if I developed a color today, you wouldn't see it for another 6, 7 years sometimes. It just takes that long.
Wow.
But then it was also working with, I think it was Garden State Leather that supplied the leather for these cars back then, and getting the pigment to them so they could create the leather that you see on the inside of the cars.
Huh. So how much extra time did it take to get like the pigment for the leather and like to, just for that side of things?
Well, that color is still in production today. So back then, it was readily available to me to get the pigment to whoever needed it, like Ford. And I think this might have been sprayed with BASF from the factory. I know the 96s were. So it doesn't really, getting the product would have been like the longest holdup. Unfortunately, they had it on hand. So as soon as the color was approved, we started developing leather colors and
That's cool.
taking it from there.
So it was basically you just took the same mix and then
Same exact pigment that's in the paint is in the leather. Yeah.
and then they just made it into a dye and had their own process.
Different process because the leathers are dyed. That's where they get their durability and stuff. They used to spray them, I think, at one point, but I believe these are dyed.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then,
that definitely lasts longer.
Yeah, lasts longer and looks better, in my opinion.
So what were you saying about the way that the different pigments reflect?
Oh, the way the color actually works.
Yeah, that was the coolest
Yeah.
thing.
So when you see any color in particular, like say that the Colorado that you got, or Canyon that you guys have has a gold pearl in it, that pearl is always the same color. It's yellow pearl or a red pearl or a blue pearl, where the product that's in here being sprayed at a very specific thickness. When you look at a color or anything, the light ray, let's say it's the sun, will come in at one angle and it'll reflect back at you at that same angle, and that's where you perceive color, right? With this pigment, the way it works is light goes into the pigment, say from the sun source, say 45 degrees, let's say. It goes into the pigment, and then once it reaches the pigment, it bends the light ray, so it comes back out at a different angle. So that's where you get that color shift. So wherever the light source is, be it the sun or lights in the shop or wherever, as that light source moves, then that bend is different, and you see different color, be it either green or purple, in this case blue.
Yeah.
And that's all from that thickness. Now, like, so some of the other colors were either thinner or thicker, and that would give you a different color shift range. So they had, like, say, a red to gold shift, which was a thinner product, and or what you see in money. Actually, if you had a $20 bill on you right now, that gold that you see down at the bottom of the bill, if you flip it back and forth,
Yeah.
green to gold, same exact pigment.
Oh, okay.
At least it was back in the day. I'm not sure what they're doing today. So
it's like how the light reflects in like pool water, how it refracts. But is it
right, kind of like when you look through a polarized lens, the light rays is slightly different.
so
Color
is it
looks a little
like
vibrant?
Is it like the colors themselves that refract at different angles, or is it the thickness?
Well, it's the light ray that comes out different. So there's no color in the actual light that you see, but when it comes back at you at the other angle, that might be better explained for a different scientisty guy, but that's where you see color.
Okay, I think I get what you mean. So it's like each color is at a different thickness kind of deal.
Yeah, well, in real life, it's at a different angle. In this particular case, the different thickness of the material is what changes the way the light reflects back at you. So
Okay.
you see that color in particular. Even though the car might look black to you when you're standing next to it, as that sun moves around or a light source moves around, it changes the color with it. So, like if the light source stayed in the same spot and you moved, it would also change. So like if you walked around the car, it would be a different color. It just
Yeah.
depends on where the light is and where you're looking at it.
So how is like this color different from, like a wild pearlescent color?
Well, pearlescents are normally the color that they start life as. So there are powdered pearls and there's like a paste pearl that they used to use back in the day. And that color pearl is produced in that color. So this pigment that you see, if you actually had it in your hand before it was processed, it would just look white. It wouldn't look like anything.
Oh,
And then as that process takes place, and that's when you see the different thicknesses, and that's when you get to see color in the pigment.
that's cool.
And then they put that pigment in a binder, which makes it liquid, and then they add it to paint.
Huh, I never would have guessed it'd be white.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of a cool process when it was first made.
So before we started, he was telling us about how the pigment for the original Mystic color
Yeah.
was because of a mistake at one point from.
Yeah, basically, there was, like I was telling you, there was a misconception about the material and that you could counterfeit money with it, and it was not true. So, originally, when the product came out, the technology was created. Let's say it that way. When the technology was created, it was specifically for that anti-counterfeiting product. So, like going back to the thickness thing, it's a specific thickness to get that color shift that you see for money. Well, the pigment that they made was a different thickness and it was the wrong color. And they had a
Oh,
lot of it. And if they needed to be able to utilize that product that they made, and they didn't know how to duplicate the error to recreate that pigment. So that pigment, like I was saying, when it was gone, it's gone. There's nothing else that's gonna be like dead on, like perfect match to it. If
so
you can get close,
yeah.
but it's never 100%. Like I said, there was only one company that was able to produce it. The it's a funny story. It takes place with Russian cargo planes and Mel Gibson, but I'll tell you about that another time. But the actual machines that they were made in were enormous, and they only existed in one place. Now, I'm sure the process have changed over the years since these colors were created. Probably a lot more proficient, it's more productive, more profitable, I'm sure.
All more
So,
measured and.
yeah. The product was pretty expensive when it first came out. It was between like 34 and 36 bucks an ounce, I think is what PPG was charging it for it. So, if you needed 6 ounces to paint the fender of your car, you didn't go buy a quart. You
Yeah.
bought what you needed because it was pretty expensive.
Huh.
So, yeah.
When you went out to California and you met up with a GM exec, did you just happen to be out there, or did you like kind of coordinate anything with him beforehand?
With the Ford guy, you mean?
Yeah, the guy that went to Ford.
Oh, yeah. We happened to be friends when we were here in Michigan. So he had come here from California, and we worked together a bunch here in Michigan before I left to go to California, and that's when he changed from GM to Ford, jumped
Okay.
ships. He's a good guy. I hope he's doing good out there. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, you could say, hey.
Hey, Alan. But yeah, that was a good time for sure.
Any memorable like stories working with Alan while you guys were making that color?
Well, actually, the color was that one was done pretty much via text or emails, text messages back then, but emails and phone calls and stuff like that. I did the color program with Alan for GM, And it was pretty cool because the way the process works, they have to go through a bunch of different designers to approve each color for whatever vehicle they're going on or where they're going in the vehicle, like if they're interior colors. So they do this big presentation, and at the design center, there's a room that's no ambient light comes into it. It's like just for color. And I was one of the only non-GM employees that ever got to sit in on that. So that was a cool experience. My mom used to work in the same building, so for me to be able to wander to the halls where my mom used to work, yeah, it was really cool as well. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of brought the family back together a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it all comes full circle.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It was cool.
It's kind of crazy that I've known you for like a decade and I never knew that you made this color.
Yeah. Well, it was a job, right?
Yeah.
You know, and some people get it and they get excited about it, and some people are like, "Hey, that's just nerdy paint guy stuff. I don't care about that."
Yeah.
No, I get that. You know, it's just like I was saying, I've done it for so long now that it's just part of who I am. You know.
Yeah. I guess as time passes and, these get more rare and more like kind of legendary, they build more of a status. It's,
Yeah.
it gets cooler with age.
I just can't get over how nice this thing is, man. Jeez. But yeah, like when we first started hanging out, we were doing different stuff. So like the whole story changed once I came back from California and I started out on my own and getting into building the custom cars. And thankfully I had a relationship with some of the people. And man, I went from like 900 square feet to 30,000 square feet in about 4 years.
That was when that was Ice Nine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how did all that get started?
Man, I came back from California. I was working. I worked for PPG for a long time. Good company. 9/11 happened, and cuts came through, and I was unfortunately one of the ones that had to get let go. Got laid off. Ended up at Roush. Got laid off from them twice. Was at Prefix doing Vipers, and it was like, man, I got to be able to be in control of my own destiny here. You know, I can't rely on a job shop in Detroit to put food on my table for my family. So I went out on my own. Like I said, it started at 900 square foot shop doing auction cars and just blossomed from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
when I shut it down, my mom got really ill. I'm an only kid. No family in Michigan other than my wife and my boys. And I needed to take care of my mom. She passed from dementia a couple of years ago. But that was what's made my decision to work for my house shop.
I see.
Shut the business down because I had to take care of my mom, and then got into doing some things. And that's when
That's when I was
you
working
and the
with you.
boys came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was all. I mean, shoot.
Shop still looks beautiful thanks to you, bud.
Yeah.
Did a great job painting it for me.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I love it.
So, what? All I can remember, I remember the first time I saw it, or like I heard of Ice Nine was back. I think it was 2013 or 2014 at those Sade meets that we had back in the day. And
The drift pop-ups.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Shane brought his GTO out there.
Yeah.
And he ripped a gnarly drift leaving the parking lot, and then a Mustang decided to try to do the same, and just lost it right into the crowd, like from me to the camera away.
Typical Mustang guys. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Right.
Thought it was a nice little incident, and then you see it all over the place.
Right.
But what was that all about? Did you get to do a lot of like cool drift stuff and all that?
Yeah. I had a business partner with Ice Nine, and he actually became friends with Shane prior to me meeting him. Just saw Shane on Saturday for a wedding. Yeah, my business partner brought him around and introduced him and kind of hit it off. He's really cool dude. He's obviously has some talent. Got to work with him for a number of years, and like I said, I still see him today. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Good guy. But yeah, we kind of helped him out a little bit early on, like a place to work on the car and whatever we could do to help him because I believed in him back then. My business partner as well, and that's where the GTO came around with the Ice 9 sticker on it, and then that blossomed into the newer GTO. He did really well with that one, but don't call him Wally for nothing. He likes to ride that wall,
Yeah.
And then that car was just toast. And it just really couldn't get over the edge, and now he's into a Mustang with a turbo LS in it, by the way.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's gnarly
Sounded
motor,
pretty.
man. Yeah.
So he's still doing it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not as much as I think he would like to, but, you know, yeah, life gets in the way of life sometimes. You know, you got to work and things like that. So,
Yeah. Oh man, I pray there's some excuse that we can have a low miles, no miles drift team or
That'd be
racing
great,
team.
man.
You know what I mean? Oh man. Oh, I'd be a pig and shit.
you got to talk to the bosses about that one.
Yeah. How you feeling, Anthony? Low miles, no miles racing.
He's laughing about it right now, but I don't think he's too serious about it.
He'll be in. Just subtle influences here and there.
Right?
We'll get them. So, going from Ice 9 to your shop,
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite build, the Eagle Squadron Mustang.
That was a special one.
Yeah.
I got real lucky over the years. Very fortunate to work with some really, really good people and do some charity cars that really helped out a lot of people. We raised, between Ice 9 and the Eagle Squadron car, we raised over $5 million for charity for
Oh, that's awesome.
JDRF. We did the Stone Soup cars for WCSX. They brought tons of money. So to be able to do that Eagle Squadron car was for a charity that was pretty close to Edsel Ford's heart. And yeah, it was an honor to do that car.
What charity was it for?
That one it represented the Eagle Squadron, and there is forgive me, I can't remember the name of the charity, but it is to bring young kids into the aviation field.
Oh, okay.
You know, to try to help bring the interest to a younger generation to help carry that industry on.
That's cool.
So that's at the time that was Etzel's favorite charity, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was a great car, though. I mean, between the work that Sean Paul did on the interior, you helped out with it. The paint work was killer on it. It was all paint.
Yeah. All
Just
satin.
one of one. To get everything filmed and everything, and Vaughn coming out and hanging out at the shop with us, yeah, it was cool.
That
And
was
I don't know if you remember or not, but things like the handle, the shifter handle, and the medallion that was inside the car was actually from the cockpit of the real plane that flew the missions over in Europe.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was a special car. It was really cool.
It really
That one
was.
brought, I believe, $500,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing, it was a work of art.
Yeah.
It is a work of art.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of time that went into all of it. And I think the coolest part was because of the finish, like there's no do-overs, you can't fix a little spot. Like,
Yeah, they better call me if they need it repaired. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man, for sure. It was all satin finish and looked exactly like the airplane.
Yeah.
Down to the stripes on the propeller. I mean, it was Vaughn's team did just an absolutely killer job with the graphics package on that car, and the interior was just incredible, man. I was really, really proud of that car.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then after that car came the, was it a 65?
Yeah, I did that 65 for Tim Allen. Not that Tim Allen, another Tim Allen, another car guy. 65 Mustang Fastback with a twin supercharged aluminum 427 in it.
Silly.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a good time with that. The nice folks at Sherwin-Williams brought us out because I was using their product out of I believe the Netherlands, the De Beer product at the time. They brought us out to SEMA and put us up in the booth. So got to rub elbows with little Danny from Counts Customs. What a cool dude that guy is.
Yeah.
He came and hung out with us for a while. He had the car on his program, and then his guys were there, and Jesse James was there. And some really cool bike builders were there. Joe Marshall, I still talk to him every once in a while. Cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From meeting at SEMA?
Yeah, from 19 of all things.
That's cool.
That's really the best thing, man. After doing all the cars, raising the money for charity, putting steal Vaughn's phrase, put smiles on faces for the customers that we built the cars for. Really, the best part for me was the people that I got to meet. You know, I mean, you and I have been friends for years now because of that.
Yeah.
And had it not been for those vehicles that we built, you know, I wouldn't have been able to meet a lot of the cool people that I, you know.
Oh, dude, I agree.
over the
I agree
years.
100%. I mean, especially like from the page, from Low Miles, No Miles, like gotten to meet some of the coolest people out there, and
Yeah.
it's all just for the love of cars, you know.
Yeah, I always said that the car game, if you want to call it, the industry or the camaraderie, doesn't really know like a financial status. So if you're a car guy, you're a car guy. You know,
Yeah.
if you're $1 million a year guy that can afford to buy whatever, you still can appreciate what the 18, 19-year-old kid is able to put together on their budget.
That's true.
So that's, I think, where the true camaraderie of car guys comes from. You know.
Yeah, because everyone that's at that later stage, they remember when they were, you know,
we
little
all
20-year-old
started out
guy.
that way.
Yeah, that's the best part about it, though. You know, it brings so many people together that would have never met under any other circumstances. you
Right.
know?
And the cool thing is when you meet some of the older guys, you know, you learn a great deal from them, different ways of seeing things. I miss a lot of the older days when we were building simpler cars. You know, I'm still a firm believer in a big block and a 4-speed and a set of Craigers or something. It still
Yeah.
screams volumes of what cars used to be back in the day. You know.
Yeah. Shit, now it's like a turbo LS and everything.
Yeah, computers play a big part of things nowadays.
That's
know.
for sure.
No, I really appreciate you having me out, man. For real.
Yeah, thanks for coming
It
on,
was really
man.
good to see you, and bro, I'm telling you, seeing you with the smile on your face is priceless, man.
I appreciate it.
It's
man.
really cool. I'm happy for you.
You know, all the jobs that we were talking about working on, you know, it's just cool how everything comes together, you know, it all
Yeah.
comes full circle.
Yeah, for sure. I know we've been talking about doing this for quite a while now, and you were like, "Hey, Wednesday." I'm like, "On it. I don't
Yeah.
care what's going on. I'm gonna make this happen for you." You know,
Yeah, I mean,
it's really cool.
shoot, man, I was fresh out of college, you know, not really much, you know, insight, and didn't have two pennies to rub together, you know, and you had me come out there. We worked for a summer, or a couple summers,
Yeah,
and
I believed in
yeah,
you, brother.
it was a blast, man. I appreciate you. Really
You were
do.
a lost soul there for a minute, man. But I'm super proud of you, man. You did
Thank
a
you.
good job, man. Yeah,
I guess it's a good note to leave it on.
you did good.
You met the guy who created this absolute work of art. And that's
That's me.
it. Cool. I like it.
Oh shit, my microphone was off, bro. Not kidding.
It's something to do with your hands. You know, you can animate. Yeah.